Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Alright, knock, knock, knock. And let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say? And so the card that I pulled tonight for this reading is the Adjustment card. And this has to do with justice, structure, law, creating harmony through kind of reorganizing your perception, maybe learning to kind of refine your perception, open your perception up. I like the Adjustment card because it has so much symmetry. Let me show you here. It's very symmetrical kind of a card. And we're all attracted to symmetry in life, but I really do like something that is symmetrical and beautiful. The colors, the energy. Also, I'm a Virgo, so I do, although my life can be very chaotic at times, quite a cluster. A cluster of messes. Definitely do enjoy when things are organized and going as planned. Okay, so let's take a look at these here. This one, I see a person sitting, and here's the head, and it looks like they have some kind of fishing pole. It looks like they're fishing, and it happens that there is a fish right there. It looks like it's swimming around that bait. It might just take it. And for me, this totally fits in with the last readings we've been having for you, Capricorn. A lot of talk about your work, your career, your passions, setting up business, creating resources for yourself, these kinds of things that keep you motivated, going, thriving. And I think that definitely there is that continued spirit. We see another fish here. It looks like it's checking out this little piece of food there. We also have this little heart right there. And so I really think, and this has to do so much with this Adjustment card, this idea of symmetry, I feel like there is a lot of symmetry in your life, within each sphere of your life, but especially you're in the material world, in your career, work, means of, creating resources or creating art, hobbies, interests, whatever it is, wherever you find the wealth in your life to spend your time doing and producing and everything that goes into that. I think it's mirrored in your domestic life, your relationship, if you have one. Maybe you are a solo person and you really enjoy that. Maybe you're dating and you're enjoying that. I also think in your family there is quite a time of feeling like everybody is in a place of security, of growth. You are very good at being there emotionally, helping teach showing up for those who need you in your family, remembering the birthdays, the anniversaries, calling when somebody's sick and checking in, and, all the little things that, we have to kind of do with our family members and the people we love, our friends groups, maybe it's your chosen family. But I think that all of these things are really just in this beautiful alignment and symmetry. It's feeling good. I feel like you've spent so much time working towards catching that big fish. And as I've talked about, and I think it was maybe even just the last reading, I think that you have done so much foundational work, setting up the systems that need to be in place to do that work. And it's starting to really pay off for you. And so I think that this totally makes sense. I know that we've also talked about the fact that you've probably been really busy. You haven't had as much time with family and friends. Well, I think at least for this period of time coming up, there will be more time to connect. I think that there will be some really important conversations. Not necessarily that there's any big life events, but I really do think that just having interactions that kind of feed your relationships, keep them strong, keep those lines of communications open. Now, I see here there's this wolf, okay? And it looks like it's kind of got its head down, but I think that the people in your life understand sometimes you are kind of like that solo wolf that kind of just goes out away from the pack. You do your hunting and whatever, wolves do. And then you come back to the pack. And I don't know if that happens in nature, if they always stay together, but I think that the point is that you can kind of exist in both places. You are good with your family. You are a very dutiful, child to your parents, to your, if you have a spouse, you are very involved where you need to be. And even when you are busy working and out there having your career and stuff, you honor your family and your family life. If you have children, you have been there for them. Do you lament being away or being busy often? Probably, but we all do. We all feel guilty for however we exist as parents or even within our family. This is one thing I've really learned as a mother or as, a parent, is that somebody's always going to have something to say about how you choose to do what you do. Okay. I'm a stay-at-home parent. I'm sure that people have had something. They've never said it to me, but, I'm sure that people think, oh, that's a really outmoded way to live or whatever, that I don't know, whatever. So, but then if you are a parent, mother, father, doesn't matter, and you're outside of the house working constantly, somebody's going to say something about that as well. You can't win, right? So you win by just not engaging in that outside talk. But the point is, you're going to feel guilty either way. We all feel guilty in some way. We internalize these beliefs that we get through whatever, these silly social constructs. We're all literally just out here trying to do our best, aren't we? And so I really think that you have this very versatile spirit. You're really good in your family group, your chosen family, your friends group, whatever it is, whatever that time, maybe even, You are a person that has, you know, a fur family. You have, you know, 'cause animals. I mean, I was like that for years. I had my cats. You see them often. They're very naughty. But, you know, and that's your family, and you show up for them. You're there for them. They're there for you. And that's, you know, that's just as valid as any other family configuration, in my opinion. So, but you also are good on your own. You know, you're also good to go out there, do the work. You maybe even are a bit of a solitary person sometimes. And that's also, I get that. Oh boy, do I get that. And so I want to look at this one. This is, and I'm looking at it and I was like, there has to be another way. It reminds me of, and this is a symbol that I have a great affinity for. And this is Babylon, okay? And this is the kind of goddess in red riding in on this beast, this monster. And, you know, she's usually related to kind of the fallen woman, the wild woman, the woman that cannot be, you know, contained by social norms, social mores, by the rules, the, you know, that, you know, well, this is more of the feminized version now, but, you know, that the patriarchy has laid down. This is a woman of indulgence, being a primal being, you know, destructive in some ways, but also very much related to the strand of Lilith, the first woman, even before Eve, right? Some mythologies say became a vampire because she lived off the vitality of others. But I think more just living in fullness of herself, answering to no one except for maybe her private relationship with the divine, whatever that looked like. And within these systems, that's scary, right? You can't control a person like that. I feel like as you have grown throughout your life, you have spent a lot of time honoring others in the way that you perceive that you should. And that's fine. That's wonderful. But I think that, you know, often with most things in life, there is going to be a counterbalance. And so as you have grown into whatever age you are through experience and ordeal, there has been a wildness that has grown in you, a flame that has come to burn bright. I think that to some degree you have tried to contain it, but in other ways you have been so clever with yourself to find the things that impassion you, that make you feel so much yourself. You have that rare blessing, quality, ability to let yourself go into something that is only yours. A lot of people are too afraid to ever, you know, quest for that, to journey into themselves, to figure out what are those things that make them feel that way. I think a lot of times people default to things like, you know, physical pleasure, which is fine too, but it becomes habitual, it becomes abused, it becomes, you know, kind of There's a toxic quality that arises in these compulsive types of yearnings, right? And it's all these are usually kind of illusionary, right? They're not developed. These are not they don't go back to that original source. It's just the stuff that feels good and it's easy. It's accessible. You know, it's within the masses. So it's very accessible. And it rots you out. And, you know, this could be all kinds of different things. We all have our vices, right? And that's not to make any kind of moral judgment on what people do. But if we live to excess with anything, and if it is not profoundly authentic to our true will, our deep will, and that has to do with adjustment, our uncovering that thing that we truly want but need as well, right? And so this symbol really is so many things for me when I look at it. But it makes me realize that you are a person who has not allowed yourself to remain so burdened by this unfocused desire, will, fire, flame burning inside of you. You know, I think some schools of thought, could be aligned with something like awakening the Kundalini, activating the energy channels in your body, the nade, or the what is it called? The chi, I think. Yeah. And so working through these blockages in our physical form, our emotional body, and our spiritual body, right? Clearing them so that we may enact that true will. Because again, you know, it just gets lost into distractive things. Our vision is not clear. It's like, you know, looking through a windshield that's full of dust, debris from driving, but also rain and, you know, whatever kind of mess you've picked up along the way. And you're trying to look through it. You might think you see something, but it's an illusion because you can't see clearly enough what it truly is. Okay? And so I think that you just are continuing to work. And the interesting thing about you, Capricorn, is that you do the work privately. You are not a person that has to make this like your personality. It's not, you know, you don't need to wear the clothing of a holy person. You don't need to have all of the, you know, badges and baubles and, you know, all the things. You just do what you do out of necessity, out of that drive, or else you just maybe might lose yourself. And you know that instinctually. Okay, so we also have this E, an uppercase E. So that seems important. That's mixing from this emotional psychic center up into this kind of divine space. This is something important. I think that this is somebody or an entity that really is very close to you. Maybe this is a personal deity. Maybe this is like a spirit guide okay? But they are reaching out to you, giving you messaging. And I think that and I want to turn this really quick. And see, I see kind of like a deer, but I see a person and it looks like they have a scythe here. And so I feel that there is a sense of reaping coming. Okay, and this doesn't have to be death, but there will be a time when the things that you have built up have to be cut down, have to be harvested. And I feel like there is, and this is also, you know, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn, of course, is the old father, Kronos, related to the imagery of death, right? The timekeeper. There is a sense of this very kind of going out into the wilderness, having to start again. Okay, the deer, that very holy stag, it's nature, yes, a very masculine nature, kind of intelligence, consciousness, and this, I think, will be kind of a big reforming for you. There's something going to happen that maybe like a change in financial stuff, maybe a gain, maybe selling a business, selling some kind of artwork, something. But there will be, I don't think that this is like it's, you know, going to fail. But I think that there will be allotted a time where there will be a transitional time. You'll have some period of moving into the next thing, next project, whatever it is. But this is going to be very potent for you, and it's going to be definitely like a rite of passage. Okay, and I feel like it's very profound. Now, I do think that this intelligence, entity, whatever it is definitely very much tied into this. So I think going to that vision work, visualization, dream work, scrying, whatever you do, whatever you feel comfortable with, I think that that's a good place to start. Okay. And I want to look down here. We have a 1, the number 1. So that's important. Look for the number 1. I hear you. They want to go to bed soon here. And I think you have to take and I see 3 paths. I think that they seem to be coming together to converge. I feel like this is you and 2 other people. I feel almost like joining forces. So this might have to do with the next thing that will be coming up in your life. That situation where, but I don't know that this is all coming soon. It seems like this is more of a long-term thing because they are still spread apart, but it seems like they are going to converge at some point. So I think, you know, the real message to me is thinking about kind of anticipating what might be coming, if this connects in some way, if this resonates in some way, maybe, you know, starting to write some of these things out, just coming up with ideas, just generally, you know, kind of, it's hard to know exactly unless you do know, and then you have a very much more like a narrowed understanding. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that I was thinking that something that would be probably fun for you to do, because I feel like you've had so much success in these different parts of your life. You really, it's, of course, you work so hard to manifest the things that you've envisioned. Okay. And I think that's really you're in that place, right? And I think that, you have this like feeling of there's a lot of upkeep. You have to keep working, keep moving, keep, being innovative, evolving, and all of that I think is probably very true. But it's also important to be present in your success, right? When you can. So something I think just a little maybe I don't know, practice to try out is maybe creating yourself like a special drink to have. If that's like a special coffee, a special tea, but having a space where you can sit down and kind of just go over in your mind while you're drinking your fancy coffee, or juice or smoothie or whatever, and just really congratulating yourself, but also thinking about the things that you have a lot of gratitude for. And I think that's a really, nice practice to have. Do you have to do it every day? No, of course not. But when you do have time and you do think of it, maybe something to try out. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. I'm always so honored to bring these messages and share them. And if you would be so kind to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. We are growing this channel one person at a time, and we're doing a great job. And I say we, I mean you, I mean me, everybody else who is here, part of this community. We just hit 10K subscribers, so congratulations to us all. That's exciting. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. We're on a schedule where I read every sign once a week. So between now and the next Capricorn, you can watch your other placements, or you can do some cross-watching. If you don't know what that is, that's when you watch readings for your loved ones, your kids, your spouse, your, significant other, the person you have a crush on, and so on. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I read them all and I try to get back to them really quickly. Sometimes it takes a day or two. That's just, we have a busy family life over here. But I appreciate all of those comments, and some of you are so sweet and so generous with sharing your stories and, the things that you're feeling and the things that you see in the cup. And, I really, really love connecting with you all in that way. Okay, so thank you, and we will talk again very soon.